What if I told you that Yuji Itadori's determination, his indomitable will, isn't just for show, that it's actually a blueprint for your own personal growth? In this video, I'll be analyzing Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen using the hero framework, where I explore a character's heart, esteem, relationships, and opportunities in order to see which of these aspects can best help you be the hero in your own story. Now, I've analyzed Yuji's journey to bring you what I believe to be the best and simplest lessons that we can learn from him. And stay until the end of the video for a free downloadable guide that can help you get started on your journey to greatness. Now, what is it that pushes Yuji so hard? What makes him get back up time after time? Well, that would be the first letter in the hero framework, H for heart. See, the heart represents the core values and the ambitions that someone has. Basically, represents who they are. For Yuji, it all starts with his cog mentality. See, he sees himself as nothing more than a tool to exercise curses. And this resolve is deeply rooted in his commitment to save as many lives as possible before he dies. Part of this is due to the guilt he feels for bringing back Sukuna, the king of curses. And it's also part due to his grandpa's dying words, which may have actually been a curse on Yuji's life. But regardless of the reason, Yuji will always save lives because that's just who he is. And he knows who he is, he knows what he must do, and nothing else is going to stop him from doing it. So think about your own values and desires. What is it that truly drives you? For me, it's helping people who actually want to help themselves and understanding who they are and living up to all the whole potential that they have within them. And understanding your heart is the key to better understanding your purpose. And to have an even better idea, check out my first video that I did on Yuji. Despite having a clear idea of what his mission is, Yuji's journey is still full of setbacks and failures. But he chooses to not let those things define him. Rather than question who he is after a setback, he instead doubles down on becoming the person he strives to be. In essence, that's what the E in hero represents. Esteem, which is basically your self-respect and your confidence. Or, and yes, a better way to describe it is how you view yourself. The first and earliest example of it is actually against the first finger bearer at the detention center. This is the first time Yuji's ever felt so powerless and just helpless, in all honesty. But he remembered the principal's words to use his emotions to fuel his cursed energy. And the significance of that is that Yuji doesn't give in despite being scared out of his mind. And next, Yuji learns how evil and twisted curses are when he first confronts Mahito. Because Mahito represents everything that Yuji is not. I mean, he kills humans just because, and that's honestly pretty much all there is. But it leads to the I am you speech that Yuji gives at the end, which is that he accepts who he is and that basically him and Mahito are pretty much the same. So what I want you to get is that esteem is not just how you feel about yourself. It's about being able to accept yourself holistically. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, what are some of the parts of yourself that you need to learn to accept so that you can move forward? For me, it was accepting the fact that I have a temper and I'm pretty stubborn at times, much to my girlfriend's annoyance and my parents' annoyance as well. But hey, it's who I am, and that's something I have to own. Now, as amazing as Yuji is, he wouldn't have gotten this far without any help, without people he could trust to stand by his side and to pick him up when he's down. And that's what the R in hero represents, relationships. Basically, you're building some meaningful connections. Now, for Yuji, his first meaningful connection was, in fact, his grandfather. Because as far as we're aware, he never really got to meet his parents, and he doesn't really remember them much. But his grandfather was the backbone that Yuji had. Then fast forward to his friendship with Megumi and Nobara, who he cares deeply, deeply for, and whose deaths or apparent deaths greatly affected him. But I'd argue the most impactful relationships come down to two people. First is Nanami. While Gojo taught Yuji about sorcery, Nanami taught him about being a sorcerer. And in that, he helps Yuji mature quickly and approach challenges with a pretty grounded mindset without, just going all in and just losing his mind. And Yuji greatly respects Nanami. And of course, we also have the best big brother ever, Todo, who not only teaches Yuji, but he's actually in the mud with him. I mean, his presence alone raises Yuji's morale on more than one occasion. So the way I want you to think about relationships is that it's more than just who you're related to or who you choose to hang out with. They are a vital piece of your growth as a person, because the wrong relationship can be truly unforgiving. So who do you have in your corner that you can rely on? And who can you be that person for? Even with all of his friends by his side, in the end, Yuji has to be the one that fights for himself. He can't wait for someone else to come and save him, and honestly, nor does he want to. Because Yuji understands the O in hero, which represents opportunities. It's seizing and creating your own chances for growth. Yuji's chances for growth are, honestly, just the blessings of his circumstances. His unique birth, or creation, I guess, being able to be a prison for Sukuna, which actually means he needs to have a strong mind and body. Because if his will was weak, then the series would be over immediately. Sukuna just takes over and just kills everybody. But what I'd argue is that the biggest opportunity that Yuji uses is not so much an opportunity, but it's more of a phenomenon, and that is the Black Flash, which, for those who know, or for those who don't know, occurs when cursed energy is applied to a strike within 1/1,000,000th of a second, which is physically impossible, but hey, this is anime. And landing one is completely random, or at least it's supposed to be. See, Yuji is stated to be blessed by the black sparks, and it seems that he may be able to use it at will, even though it should be impossible. But the key thing is that this phenomenon only happens from incredible concentration and when the right variables align. And the same holds true for opportunities in our own lives, or I like to call them miracles, because we have to be intentional about what we're doing. And after that, God's just going to take care of the rest. But it's up to us to be in the right place at the right time. And that really only happens when you strive after opportunities for growth. Now, Yuji's undying will is a testament to what someone is truly capable of when they choose to keep going no matter what. It's something that I strive to live by. And if you feel the same way, then check out this other video on Yuji where I break down his cog mentality.